Global economic collapse cannot be stopped when you have globalization, meaning that all of the policies around the world are being dictated by a higher power. Of course it can't be stopped. Of course it is every corner of the world. Let's go into this right here. Speaking of that, we have major foreign holders of Treasury securities. You may not be able to see the font. I'll just move on quickly. Just wanted to let you know that there is now, and there's the highlighted portion down there, that there are now $6 trillion worth of foreign holdings of US debt. Now, when you have debt to anyone, they own you and they can absolutely crush you. Look at this. With 1 in 3 homes unaffordable, I'll just stop there for a second. You have 1 in 3 homes, despite the bubble being burst a few years back, despite the fact that it is still much, much lower than where it was at its peak, you still have 1 in 3 homes being unaffordable. And this is coming at a time when you have the S&P at such high rates. Why aren't people doing well? I thought you said that everything was fine. The S&P is at the all-time highs. Well, let's go on. Freddie Mac prepares to enter the trailer home loan market. A new market is opening now, and it is booming for Freddie Mac, because they're able to get into a new type of investment, a new type of mortgage here, and that is for the trailer homes. And why are people buying trailer homes? Because they can't afford the regular sized homes. That's the way this works. It's no different than how they calculate the CPI. If steak is too expensive, then people choose ground beef. Anyway, this is right here is one of the defining investment moments of the next few years, apparently. Here we have Spain's 50-year rolling average inflation, and what I want to note to you is the highlighted portion, the bold portion lower down. It says, however, we also think that debt restructuring or inflation will eventually be the only way of successfully reducing debt burdens for many countries, with the latter route being the most likely. This is at a Deutsche Bank. I believe the name is Jim Reed. And what I talked about in my book was the same thing, how they have to restructure the debt. Let's look at this. Repackaging the debt of Greece and others with a date further into the future is their solution. You don't need to be an economist to understand that pushing debt further into the future isn't going to solve the problem. It's only delaying the inevitable. And that's pretty obvious. They repackage it in 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, a million years. It doesn't matter. All you're doing is taking debt from one place and you're putting it into another, and that never, absolutely never has worked. They call them tools, they call them instruments. I don't care what they call it. It's all a fraud. Look at this. This is the PMI global summary right now, and that's the manufacturing base, and you could see all around the world it's declining. Now, what does that mean? It means the middle class is being wiped out in all of these nations, and it doesn't seem to have any geographical similarity. It's all around the world. Look at this. This is the Federal Reserve saying that individuals have this willingness to hoard money. That's a huge problem. That's why we're having all these problems, because people are just not spending enough money. In fact, this is CNBC saying this, so you know it's a complete fraud. They say that at the same time that individuals are the most cash strapped they have ever been, and it's going on right now. You look at the amount of debt that they have, it is excessively high. So this is nothing but more propaganda, and they're saying that there is no inflation. That's what they said. It is too low. Why is it so low if they've been printing money? Of course, totally a fraud. When you have all of the factors that I've talked about before, you have beef prices at all-time high and so on and so forth. All these commodities are hitting all-time highs, the food inflation that is, and then you have things like the S&P directly correlated with the Fed's balance sheet. As they've been printing money, it's been going up and up and up. The Fed's balance sheet and the S&P in direct correlation. I talked about and showed you that graph before. Now, this is what worries me the most, is that Obama to send approximately 350 additional military personnel to Iraq, you have nothing but the military-industrial complex in a boom. The real boom is in the military-industrial complex. It's making significant amounts of money. They're making other political decisions when you can't even have politicians deciding where the money goes. And that is a big concern for me. I will end this video there. Just wanted to tell you that I appreciate every single one of you, all the sharing, all the comments. I'm trying to get back to the comments. I'm very backlogged right now. I have tons of emails. I get many emails in my inbox. I want them to continue to come. I get a lot of the questions going through the inbox. And what I want to tell you is that when I'm doing these videos, I'm trying to basically answer a lot of the same questions that I get within the videos. So hopefully you're watching all of the videos here, and if you want to do that, you need to be a subscriber on the YouTube channel. Of course, that being totally free. I hope that you'll get on there and hear me out, because I'd like to post every single day if I can. And of course, don't forget to become an insider. That's where all the best intel is, and it's totally free. It's at themoneygps.com. You scroll down to the bottom, you fill in your email address, and you get occasional emails from me with good, short, concise info.